right, if we're ready, this is the Boyd County Board of Supervisors meeting for February 27th, starting at 9 o'clock. First item on the agenda is to approve the agenda.
And I would move to approve the agenda as presented.
And I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Next item is public comment, and I would imagine all of you are here for a reason. So we'll move on to item 3, review action regarding approval of the February 12th, 13th, and 19th meeting minutes.
And I would move to approve those minutes.
And I'll second. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Item 4 is review action regarding approval of claims, which I know we've got our packets here.
I would move to approve those claims as presented.
All right, and I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Item 5, review action regarding payment in lieu of taxes waiver request from the North Iowa Regional Housing Authority. And Gloria, you said this has come in front of us before?
Every
Every
year.
year.
Every year.
Yeah, every year we get this. I believe it's, it just allows them to put that money towards their building improvements or needs rather than paying taxes.
Didn't last year they have a specific, they were gonna put downspouts or something or a roof or?
Oh, that they were gonna be using it for?
I don't see that this year, but
I don't know.
it's to put back into the building.
I didn't see anything specific,
I didn't even.
very general. All right, so is there any question, concern? Do we hear a motion?
Yep, I would move to approve this request. Is that what you call it? Request payment in lieu of taxes waiver request?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, and I'll second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. All right, moving right along.
Dusty.
We need Dusty.
1102.
Who?
1102. You just dial, you don't even have to pick the phone up, you can just dial 1102.
It's not even 5 after 9, he's probably questioning why
21
he's
minutes.
ready.
I did it in 21 minutes once.
County Engineer's Office.
Yeah, Doug Cam, is Dusty around there?
He just stepped out. He's just on his way up right now.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Martha.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
A short and sweet meeting, isn't it?
Well, I told Luke, I said, well, be prepared. Unless Dusty wants to talk a lot, which I don't think he probably will.
Hardly seems to be the weather to talk about dust control yet, but it'll happen.
All right.
And if you want, Ellie's coming, if you just want to sign on the last one there, I'll fill out the rest of it.
Be doing now. Here it comes. Oh, you're walking pretty good now.
Yeah, sort of.
I'm not seeing a leg.
It's
Don't fall on the ice.
yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so Dusty, we are here to talk about the 2018 dust control policy.
Okay. Basically, we pass this every year. I passed this in Chickasaw yesterday. And it basically is just something that follows the fugitive dust laws in the state. I did this because, about 15 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that, there was a couple people calling and getting hold of DNR about fugitive dust, blah, 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 in other words. And I finally said, well, this kind of mimics that. If it's our normal maintenance operations, the Code of Iowa states that we won't have to put dust control down. But if I have a construction project that pertains to a haul road, a haul route, then yeah, we'll
Like you
monitor
did
that
last
with,
year.
right, we'll monitor that with the construction project. Outside that, people can apply dust control accordingly, and that's through the permit process, and there'll be nothing changing on the permits, as far as that goes for individual landowners to do it on their own if they want, so.
Okay.
So no change in verbiage at all, it's just, thing we do every year about this time, to have it approved.
All right. So do we have a motion to approve the 2018 dust control policy?
Move to approve the 2018 dust control.
All right, and I'll second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All
Okay,
right, motion passed.
I guess those were copies for you guys, I didn't realize, figure it out for, I'm sorry.
So the next item on the agenda is Resolution 11-18, embargo Quarry Road and River Road.
Yes,
This
that-
is what
That
you
is for
need.
signatures for the dust control policy. It's pretty simple.
I need a copy for our file.
Mark is not here today, so we'll
So put
have to wait
absent
for
on
this.
I could put absent on it, that's fine.
We're the only one that has all three of them signed policies.
I know, I think we've always just done that because I wanted the backing of the whole board.
Sure.
And
Right. Okay. So again, the embargo Quarry Road and River Road.
you guys should have a copy of that, you have the one with the original resolution number on it, correct? Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And basically what this is, Quarry Road, north of the ethanol plant. Which, in actuality, is gonna be under construction this year.
Are you gonna do it the minute we pass
And
this?
run back.
Yes, we'll, because I'm not sure yet, we have not, pre-construction meeting has not been arranged yet. We've been in contact, I do have the contract for the Quarry Road paving that's gonna happen this summer. But until we have the pre-construction meeting, I don't know when it's gonna happen. So basically what we'll do is embargo it anyways, and then put the signs up and leave it closed, and then once the construction project starts, we'll just pull the signs anyways. And that's what this allows for, is putting the signs up. It's embargoed as long as the signs are up. And once we take them down, it's done, and the maximum is 90 days in the calendar year anyways. And then it's also, River Road, which is north of the city of Floyd. Basically, the old, about, it says on there, intersection of Quarry Road and 150th, northwest to River Road and 130th. So it's a couple miles of the asphalt that's northwest of Floyd. A little ways out before you get to the asphalt, but. So those two, we've done this every year for the last, oh gosh, been about 5 years at least, not longer.
On, Quarry Road, has it been every year, or this is the first time that you're doing Quarry Road?
No, every
No.
year.
Every
Quarry's
year.
been like that too, because we've had to break up pretty good with the ethanol traffic,
Right,
Right.
okay.
so do both of those, and then, like I said, once the construction project ever becomes a moot point, we'll pull the signs on that part.
All right, sounds good. All right, do we hear a motion to approve?
I would move to approve resolution 11-18.
All right, and I will second. Is there any further conversation on this? All right, and with that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion passed. All right, next on the agenda is review action regarding the, is it the non-discrimination?
Title 6.
Yeah,
Title 6.
non-discrimination agreement for the IDOT, Blair County and Standard DOT Title 6 assurances.
Yes, and this
Okay.
is basically, we have done this every year, it's been pushed by the,
Thank you. That's what I had. Can I read them?
that's fine.
It's a countywide thing, but doesn't take.
It's countywide
Right.
because of the law which was
Big
passed back in 1960, where is it? 63, I want to say it is. 1964.
Wow, quite a while.
Yeah. And this whole thing basically, and I'll just read it in a nutshell. This one. I want to stay in, I can't find it now. It's just basically saying that you're not gonna discriminate against regarding, hold on, I'm gonna find it too, because I had it specifically.
Hiring
Hiring,
practices.
yeah,
for
that's
the
what I,
whole
yeah.
And it
county.
can't be for anything, I mean, anybody come into any office and be discriminated against, and we do not allow that.
Okay,
Um,
that's good that they have this.
hold on. This is there, let me change. There it is. that Floyd County, hereinafter referred to as the LPA, Local Planning Agency, hereby assures that no person shall, on the grounds of race, color, national origin, gender, age, or disability, as provided by Title VI Act of 1964, be excluded from participation and be denied the benefits or be otherwise subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. So in other words, and this kind of came to light because the state was audited at one point, and they did not have a policy, anything like this. So we worked with them and came back to every county and every city has to have this. For me to receive federal aid, not just me, I mean, everybody, there's other
Right.
projects that have grants
Right,
and all that stuff.
Gail's
Right.
office would be.
Would
one
get,
of
and,
right.
and so,
a lot.
that being said, I don't know why I'm a Title VI person, but, I took it over
We
because,
appreciate that you
I
guys
joke,
bringing
I
this
joke,
in.
because there are a lot,
That's
there are
great.
some that are auditors, or some that are the county attorneys, or some that are the county engineers. and-
Sure,
And because of me, I mean, it's just something that DOT wants, to make sure we have this policy on board. It's not a big deal.
absolutely.
I gave you your attitude.
So, that being said, you know, there's not a lot to it. I mean, there is, if there's any complaints that come in, then there's a process I have to follow. If some does complain about something, it comes back to me as a Title VI coordinator,
Right,
posted downstairs. We would go back to the DOT and notify them. They would do a research on it and come back and file, see anything that was, if anybody was discriminated against, and do
Right.
reports and all that fun stuff, so.
okay.
For me to let my projects, basically, the nutshell is why this has to be done right now, so.
Well, that's good to have this in place.
And every time there's a new chairperson, we have to react on it. or
Oh, it's my fault.
Yes, so, in the past, I don't know why they would think that. I think if you pass it, nothing changes, why would you just keep it? But
Yeah,
they just wanna make sure that
sure,
it's passed every year with a new chairperson, so.
okay. Sounds good. All right, and so with that, do I hear a motion to approve?
I would move to approve the Title VI non-discrimination agreement with the IDOT in Floyd County.
All right, and I will second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
There'll be 3 spots for you to sign.
Okay. Do that while you're talking about your secondary road, because that's next on the agenda.
You can grab to the orange tabby.
Okay.
That resolution,
Okay.
the resolution you maybe just had, right? If one of these is interested in giving up yours, then Beth, you could have one of those too.
Oh, the road embargo?
The embargo road.
All right, one more.
Perfect. Thank you.
Done.
And then,
Okay.
these are, 2 weeks ago, we acted on the contract for the ethanol road. These are, and that was authorized the chair to sign, or review and acted and approved, and then authorized the chair to sign. So there are 4 locations, these are the contracts for that with Horsefield,
Oh, yeah.
for paving.
You got it.
the
I've been
North
waiting for
Ethanol
the phone call. I didn't know
Yeah, and
whether
they
or not
came
you
in,
have
we
it.
called last week, and they still hadn't shipped them out, and then they came actually in yesterday, so.
Okay.
There's 4 locations, just basically 2 sets of contracts and 2 sets of performance bonds. So I dated everything already for the day from 2 weeks ago.
That's a quarry road.
Corey Road, yeah, north of the ethanol plant, yes. Yeah, that sounds good.
I saw some DOT people up there surveying on that avenue again one day last week.
Get more information, I mean, they'll be moving forward with that
Oh, it's
interchange at some point,
Every rock out there's gotta have a name on it now, doesn't it?
pretty much.
All right. Maybe,
Thank you.
okay.
Well, basically, we know, ever since I stated that we'll hopefully skate through February without any snow stuff, and I've been jinxed it myself, so. It's kind of been a lot of the snow operations. Last week it was fighting the ice. We used a lot of material in these little freezing rains and small skid.
I bet.
To date, I think we've used, I took a picture of it this morning. Anyway, so we were out all last week a lot.
You
You see
see
lots
those
of
ice blades on them motor graders,
sometimes, yeah, just we leave it up for the guys if they want to. The biggest thing that you're gonna start getting phone calls on, which we're starting to get phone calls on, is gravel roads are gonna be terrible. Not good at all.
Just can't get the
For
ice, you mean,
spring,
on,
but-
or for spring?
Spring, because of
Because
the.
it's really melting right now.
Yeah, don't ride a couple roads that are really muddy, because here's the problem, and it's springtime every year. This has been probably my, let's see, I started in '01, so this is, and it happened that year, so I was in January 22nd, '01 I started, so 18th year of, it's gonna be the same thing for the next month. It's gonna be terrible. Now, I had a call yesterday in Chickasaw County, just so you guys know what I'm dealing with here, is the guy wanted rock on his road now because he's hauling bushels of grain out and tearing up the road himself.
Sure.
And he wasn't happy about it. I said, I don't have a magic canopied, warm pile of rock somewhere. All the quarries are closed. It's just when every time you have rain that hits in the month of January or February or anything that ends in Y like that, and now we're getting warm weather, the roads are gonna be terrible. We're gonna hope for colder weather at night, which is, we're sort of having, sort of. I would
And it sounds like
I'd rather have it
next week
around,
it's gonna continue.
maybe
so.
Yeah.
20 degrees at night is a lot better. It firms up the roads enough
Sure.
to, hopefully they haul. Anybody that's
In
gotta
the
do any
mornings.
hauling, do it in the morning.
Yeah, not the afternoons.
But I don't have a magic pile of rock somewhere that this constituent wanted, rock on his road now. And then I know he called the supervisor wasn't, called me, and I said, I can't do anything.
Right.
You said that was Sir Mordecai?
No, Chickasaw.
Chickasaw.
I meant Chickasaw, I said
Chickasaw.
so,
No.
Chickasaw.
Yeah, well, that's good to know in case we get a call.
Because you're gonna get calls, and what we're doing right now in my office, I talked to Kalen at Skyline already, and he's like, well, we've got little rock, but nothing that's, and so all the piles are frozen.
Yeah.
So until maybe there's a good 10 days of thawing, and then we get some warmer weather, some wind, there's gonna be roads that are muddy, and I know people don't like driving on those, and there's not much I can do. You can't blade them. You blade them, you're gonna open them up,
Right.
and so it's gonna, and there's probably 3 foot of frost in the ground. I mean,
Right, at the minimum.
yeah. So I just want you guys aware of it. The best thing you do is take the location down. If you want to, you can always get relayed to my office, that's fine. Right now, I've instructed both my offices and the guys at the shop, you get phone calls, just write it on a piece of paper, at least we'll have the location, so that after it starts healing up and then the quarries start opening up, and, us hauling on them now would probably tear them up worse than helping them. So you haul 15-ton of rock to a spot, our trucks will tear up the roads just as bad as someone hauling manure on them, so. Just make sure you guys are aware of it, that you will get calls. The best thing to do is say, well, when we can start, when the Mother Nature starts cooperating with us a little better, then we can start, hopefully this start healing. A month from now, we'll get through it, just like every other past 17 years.
Spring is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I wanted to state that, just so you can list in, the minutes that the roads are gonna be bad, and
Sure.
we'll take the information down and do the best we can when Mother Nature cooperates and the quarries start allowing us to, and the roads start helping us a lot, because, we don't do contract rock until the roads are healed up enough, and that isn't until June.
July.
Right.
June, July, yeah. So for us to start hauling them, now we're gonna tear them up worse.
Okay, sounds good.
Did I talk to you guys? No, I didn't. 170th Street Bridge, Frankie's Bridge.
What?
That was last week.
Oh, it was.
That was last week, right? Yeah, it was last week. I think what days I'm
That's
on.
160.
170th, yep. And that estimate was so next time, which will be March 13th, is that right? Yeah. We'll have on the agenda to review and act on, and authorize chair to sign on that contract for
Okay.
Frankie's Bridges.
All right.
Henkel Construction took the bid out of Mason City. They've done a couple of our bridges in the past. The estimate, I think, was at 1.6, and it came in at 1.3, which is really good. I have no idea when that'll start or anything like that. That's gonna be until we get the contract signed and have a pre-construction meeting. So yeah, that's good that came in as low as it did.
Great, good news.
Yeah. start working on DOT budgets and TPMS programming and all the bridge stuff. I'll be getting you guys maps for potential bridges. I've got NICOG meetings coming up for federal aid, paving and things like that. I've been very fortunate, again, getting money in the past. I do not think I will be getting a federal aid project this year. Just because of the past. If you look at the list, I was given a lot of money so far. So my thinking is going in for project requests, I'm not gonna get one this year. That being said, they also have approved the swap down at the State House, which means that all the federal dollars will be going to the state, and in turn the state will be turning around and giving all the counties and cities the state dollars, dollar for dollar, which is good. That alleviates some of the red tape, not all of it, but that's fine, and a little less red tape is always
That's the
good.
way I read it.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
By doing that, does that get you out of most Davis-Bacon wages?
I'm not sure, I didn't read into it enough to make sure
What
that
was
if
the
we have to have it, I think you're right, I think we're out of it, Davis-Bacon wages, which is higher than just non-Davis-Bacon federal aid project. Every federal aid has to have,
And it's
A
not so
little
much
higher.
wages, anymore the wages are getting
It's more the
closer, it's
benefit.
the paperwork that
Yeah.
goes with it.
yeah, so I think we're eliminating some of that. As I said, some of that paperwork is gonna be gone, so, but we still have to, DOT still wants to follow some of this to make sure that we're spending their dollars accordingly, which makes sense.
Sure.
But to eliminate some of it would be nice, so. If there's anything else, you guys? Start working on other stuff, we've been working on the design out on 190th Bridge out there, the one that was closed north of the fairgrounds back west. And
You can
Start working on
box cars
T38.
in there, or so,
it'll be a
No cars
bridge,
in there?
no, it's gonna be a bridge.
Okay.
Yes. Also working on T38, because that's coming up in the program too, and that's got federal dollars in it too, which will be swap dollars.
from the avenue.
From 7 mile corner all the way to the county line.
Oh,
I got that in the program. And the other thing, which is after the last meeting, which you
which
just
I'm
wanted to know,
supposed to remind you, Stan wants to do that in concrete.
I gotta talk to you too. Because I've had calls from other ones and I
He
don't
told me
think, I
every
don't think
time
it
I see
needs.
him.
I've had calls from some of the concrete people and it's not upsetting me, but they don't need to tell us what to do here, so. You know, we're gonna, what makes sense. That, and my explanation to them is, there's a time and place for both concrete and asphalt.
Mhm.
And I feel in that case, there's nothing underneath there that's causing any problems, it's just, we need to treat the
We
surface
put
thing.
shoulders on there a few years ago, but is there subgrade up there?
No. No, we did the shoulders with the windmill money.
Right.
Mhm.
That would- right.
Which, after last meeting, we were supposed to get together and meet about the handbook and union contract,
Right.
and I forgot about it. I didn't forget, when I was sitting there and I was like, oh, what was that mean? I've never said anything, so I think you guys were busy or something, so I'm like, oh, never. So then I can't talk to you after, so. At some point, we do need to sit
Have we been
down.
busy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know at some point, we gotta try to figure out a time to start
Right.
talking about that. I've talked to Mike Galloway a couple times,
Is there a timeline that we need to have that done?
probably
Yeah,
by the end of
Sooner
March.
than better, right?
yeah, because of the
Sooner than better.
health insurance changing, we've
Yeah.
gotta
Their
provide
present
60 days
contract
notice for
ends
that, so we need a contract.
June 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the new one would start in July.
July 1st, yeah. And Mike's, like I said, I rely back, I don't know, rely back on Mike's expertise as a lawyer and whatever, representing us, that how do we work? I could work it how I wanted, and is that right or wrong? I don't know.
So do you wanna do like on
Oh.
a Tuesday at 1 o'clock, when
Yeah.
Leslie's here, or some, any day?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, my schedule's so messed up next month, medical stuff going on left and right, so I'll just leave it at that.
Is there anything yet this month?
Well, we're at the end of
Tomorrow?
February now.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna be into March.
we're gonna be talking March.
So even if it's like the 13th, you mean do it in the afternoon? Be the
Do
first
it
meeting.
sometime after, when, just the day Dusty's here, he's here Tuesdays.
Typically Tuesday, Thursday is when I'm here, so.
Friday afternoons.
Yeah. I don't care, you guys, why don't you look at your schedule and just pick one, and then I can always adjust my schedule. It's just, I got some other issues coming up that.
I would just say, try for maybe 1 o'clock, like you said, on the 13th.
Even 11 o'clock.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine, I mean, I plan on being here unless this other stuff messes all that up, but I know that's our budget hearing, which usually I'm here for that, so. That would probably be the best guess date right now, and
It's just.
I will know more
And
after,
the
I will know more
13th
after
at
this
11,
Thursday, so.
Unless, yeah,
Okay, sounds
get
good.
the 11 unless you have.
Okay,
All right.
I will keep in touch with you. All right, I don't have anything else, you guys, just keep up with muddy roads.
Again, this is just for information, but I would participate in that Charles City Comprehensive Plan meeting and one on that trail committee, and they view that, and John Fallis view the county road system as a,
John Faust would, because he is
White
not in
Trail.
charge of the county roads.
yeah,
We talked about this at 9:00, and nothing against what John's opinion is, that's fine, he's entitled to his opinion. But the worst part about it is the space that's on the edge. You want them traveling next to people that are, traveling down the road at 60 miles an hour. My push has always been, if you're gonna do it out at the edge of the right of way. Then the other futures thing, this was brought up at the commissioners and DOT commissioners meeting. I think it was someone that was down in, 2 counties down there, they have a huge trail system in Sioux City. Couple
Sioux
counties.
City?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sioux Falls, wherever we had the commissioners meeting to go try to push for the interchange out here.
Oh, yeah,
Sioux City,
Yeah, that one of the supervisors, he's all for the trails, but who's maintaining the future maintenance of those trails? There's no money anywhere
Right.
scheduled, anywhere for any of
Right.
that.
Right.
So our trail systems, are they supposed to be by cities, are they supposed, in the cities, are they supposed to be by conservation out in the counties?
Mhm.
Secondary roads supposed to take care of them? I think that's the biggest issue. And
Again,
then-
I'm just passing on
I
the
understand.
conversation.
I understand. I was a part of that comprehensive thing when we first had it with NIACOG came and we met with the cities and all, potential areas for them. And my intention is, and John thinks that I know that the infrastructure is there, the shoulders are there, but you still have to extend out past that. And then you have snow operations. Who's gonna brush them off
Who's
in this,
gonna- right.
when spring? I'm
I've
not
been-
geared up to do
I
that.
always
Have you
wondered
been-
who
have
takes
you been
responsibility.
East of Riceville? Have you been east of Riceville?
Yes,
Have you seen that trail that's up there?
yes. I don't
How
know
many
whose
miles
it
does
is.
that go?
I don't know. It's on the north side when it leaves town and goes all across and
But
jumps
then it
road
goes
and then
out
it goes
there
south.
3-4 miles and goes down all across that
Yeah,
cornfield.
I don't know whose that is, if that's conservation or, I mean, I'm all for trails if
Right.
they
But
make
that's a
sense
paved-
in
I agree.
locations.
That's a paved concrete bike
Right.
path for miles.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't 100% agree that they should be along the shoulders. They're entitled to ride the road now, why am I gonna pave shoulders when I can't pay enough money to pave all my roads?
Right.
That's the problem I have.
Well, they're looking at quality of life, thinking, and they would like the.
But that's
I mean,
like
try
we're
to
saying,
run
not
the trail
just a
around town.
private
The
trail.
bike trail loop in Charles City doesn't connect, but they would like to connect
Extend
to other towns.
I understand that, I understand.
I've heard that. from
Old railroad
volunteers.
beds that are some basically not there anymore, the road to railroad bed to Marble Rock, which is no longer there, it's farm fields now. I mean, that's what you look at half the, I'll go back to my hometown in Upper Michigan, every railroad track that's been wiped out, you know what they
It's
are
a
now?
trail.
They're all trails.
They're all
Yeah.
trails,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know, we had one north
Well,
of.
Rushford, Minnesota is the biggest example of it, that's what they are, is little railroads.
Right.
And that makes sense. The thing is,
It
who
does.
maintains them down the road? You know, people wanna ride a bike from here to there, you can ride the road, it's by code of Iowa, it's passed by legislation, they're legally can ride the road. And people have to, yield to the right of way or be away from them 10 feet
Right.
or something like that. I don't even know what the rules change, I think, but. So I'm not against it, it's just maintenance and I don't have enough money to pave my roads now.
Passing on the conversation.
I understand, that's good.
All right, anything else?
You got your new truck, I see finally.
Yep, single axle started last week, so got that and that's running really good. It's the one local around here, so.
6 months? Isn't it in
Yeah,
July?
pretty close, Took a
So,
little longer to get things hashed out.
so we have that training session or the informational meeting with your crew for Thursday, and I'm hearing the weather might be iffy.
Might be, yeah, did you send an email?
So when would we?
Calvin didn't know about it this morning.
I just emailed it.
Oh, okay, that's why, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I said, well,
Yeah, no,
I
we were
forewarned
just
them.
Charlie
waiting.
was getting the email while you were talking to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
I forewarned
she-
them that there would be some sort of meeting, then I'm thinking, I couldn't remember what it was again.
Yeah.
Brain fart this morning. And then I said, well, maybe it's harassment, there's something email coming that you wanna do. But
No.
weather may
It's
be
informational,
very
but
low.
when I saw the weather report, I'm thinking, well, you know, we can certainly, it's not a problem, Dusty, for us to reschedule that.
Okay,
For
I didn't even
another
look at my
time.
email, so.
It just went out at 8:47.
When would you
Okay,
normally
because we were done
know?
at 8:30, so.
I mean, how far in advance would you know that we need to reschedule?
I mean, depending, you mean for this Thursday, you mean, or? I think we know more is come by the end of the day today or tomorrow. I mean, I looked at my
That's
weather and
not
all of a sudden it
weather,
didn't look
'cause it's-
nearly as bad.
It's scheduled at 7:15 in the morning.
Yeah. I mean, mine show, today's
So I
Tuesday.
think they were talking possible
It
rain,
depends on what you
freezing
look at.
rain
If you look
again.
at Globe Gazette weather,
Monday's 30, 46.
I think they're a week off, a week behind or something.
10% chances, that could be anything.
Today the high is gonna
That's
be
the hard part.
31.
Yeah.
10, 15,
I know.
20% chances that morning, and then so
Well,
by
just
then.
let us know tomorrow, you know, like I said, we can certainly reschedule yours.
I'll talk to Calvin because I'm not here tomorrow, but I'll let him know and then see and,
Okay,
yeah, keep in touch that way.
sounds good.
All right,
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, thanks,
Thank you.
Dusty. All right, next on the agenda was the fiscal year 19 budget reviews, but that was just a placeholder if we had any further discussion on it, which we should be
I think we're covered.
done.
Let's go into the rest today.
Great, wonderful. All right, so with that, item 11.
Move to adjourn.
All right, I'll second. We are adjourned.